Hey friends, today I want to do a quick video. Well, I don't know how it's gonna be, but I'm just gonna push it out there. And as you can see on the screen, I'll be talking about Microsoft Fabric, and the aim is to do a demo of an end-to-end medallion architecture use case. Now, medallion architecture is a way of organizing data such that it moves from raw data into the best of the best data. And medallion, quote unquote, has to do with medals, and it moves from your bronze to silver, and of course then to gold. Now your bronze level will be your raw data, and data are being processed gradually until it gets into the gold level, where you have well curated, well cleaned data. All right, but what my focus today is not much about the data, but it's about how does that transition works, moving from one level to the other. How do you implement it? And based on that, I'll be working on these few things. Number one, we will show how to create premium capacity. I know a lot of people out there that don't really have access to, premium capacity. They don't even know what it looks like. And I'm just going to do a quick touch on creating a premium workspace. One. Number two, I'm just going to be talking about connecting it to Git repository. There are different ones, but for this demo, I'm going to be using Azure DevOps. The third thing I'm just going to do is create two lake houses. So I'll create two lake house, and I'll create a data warehouse. All these things will happen in Fabric. Of course, we know that there is Power BI client tool where people create the reports and all that. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I just want to do everything within Fabric. Microsoft Fabric is a I will call it a business intelligence platform, a data platform, a reporting platform that combines a lot of things. I mean, it's software as a service, so to say. That's what I will call it. Is software as a service, where there is a lot of things, linked together. Of course, if you have heard about data analytics, if you heard about reporting, ETL, all those things, everything is embedded in Microsoft Fabric. There are different personas. I don't want to talk too much. I'll just go right into it, and I'm just going to show you how all this work together. So once I do any of these things, I'll come back to mark it as done, in a way such that we'll be able to follow through this process of, you know, our end-to-end medallion architecture use case. Of course, creating a report for people to use. Eventually, I will end with creating an app, within the Fabric to share the reports to the users. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is to create a workspace. Um, and for this to happen, I'm just going to go to workspaces. Now, let me quickly say that to be able to create workspace, a bit of background. I administer Microsoft Fabric within my organization, and so leveraging on that is something I do like almost every day within my organization, to help people, to help our clients, ministry clients, to get on board with Microsoft Fabric, help them with data, help them with reporting, just make it sweet for them. So I'm going to start by creating a workspace in the premium capacity. In the premium capacity, I'll just call this one medallion architecture training. That's what I'll call this. I wrote it down somewhere already. And of course, I will give a brief description of what it is. And this is what it is. It's just creating an end-to-end reporting leveraging the Medallion architecture in Microsoft Fabric. Of course, there's something called domains. Domains are a way of grouping your workspaces such that, I mean, it helps you to know who owns what. You know, it's just a way of arranging your workspaces. It's just like a folder within your is within on your system. It just helps you to arrange your workspaces. For this purpose, I'm not just going to do any domain thing, whatever. I like to always use a an icon or image for my workspaces. I guess I have something here ready. This place. So I'm just gonna pick this from here. Yes, I'm just gonna use that for my, and like I said, two things. I'm gonna use premium capacity, and this is what it looks like. There is an option for trial. If you don't have access to premium capacity, you can always do a trial, and that would just last you for 60 days. And after you are done, of course, in 60 days, you should be able to explore some of the things that comes with Microsoft Fabric. So I'm just going to do premium, and I'm doing small semantic model. I'm not doing something any big thing. Like I said, our focus is not on data curation and all that. It's just how these things works. So I'm leveraging my enterprise Power BI P1 capacity, and I'm just going to apply this. All right, now we have our workspace ready. It's called Medallion architecture. I want to do more things on the workspace. I go to the workspace setting. I want to integrate it with Git, and I'm just going to use this. I'll leverage my account, the office, and I'm just going to pick an organization. I'm going to use my personal Git DevOps, and I'm just going to say project. I'll put it on training, and then I'll say Fabric training, and I'll put a quick branch, and I'll just give it a name. Training. I don't know. Training. I hope this works. Yes, I'll just put this. Okay, ranges invalid characters. Okay, it can be a space. I'll do this. Yes, and that's it. And I want to put a folder for it. Let me still say Medallion. I use one word trading. Connect and sync. Read and sync. Yes. So what this helps me to do is gives me access to source control. I'm able to update, and of course, you know what it does, helps you to have a trace of what you are doing and how you're doing it. If there's any issue, you can roll back and all that. But that's not the focus of today. We can do a video for that. So having created my workspace, a premium capacity, you can see this icon here. Sorry. You can see this icon here. It shows that it's a premium workspace, meaning you have access to all the personnel that we have with Fabric. And if I click on this, for instance, you see Fabric. If I click on Fabric, if I click on workloads, these are different things that you can do with Fabric: data engineering, data factory, designs, warehouse, and all that. And of course, your Power BI is there, but not doing that right now. So I'll go back to my workspace. I called it Medallion, Medallion architecture. I'm just going to pin it to that for quick access. Right? I click on it and I'm back to it. So I guess we are done with number 1 and 2 of our steps, which is create capacity. I will just do this, and we have connected it to this. The next thing I want to do is I'm just going to quickly create my lake houses and my warehouse. That's the next thing I'm just going to do. And yes, let's go from there. So I want to create new Fabric items. Like I said to you, you need to have a premium workspace to be able to use all those items that comes with some of the items that come with Fabric. And I'll click on new item. Right now, I want lake house. I'll create two lake house. I'll click on lake house. You give it a name. Let me say LKH lake house, and I'll call this my medallion, and this will be my silver layer. And I'll create this as well, and I'll say create. So automatically I have a lake house. So we come back to this place. You can see lake house medallion silver. It comes with two things. It's your semantic model and your SQL analytics endpoint, where you can run, SQL-like kind of query. So that is the first thing. And of course, you are able to commit it to Git right here. You can see it's automatically telling me that there is something I need to commit. If I click on this and click on commit, definitely it will get committed. And that's it. So that's our first lake house, which is our silver layer. The next thing is come back to a new item and create a lake house. And I want this to be called, show me this. I want it to be called lake house. And I'll call this medallion. And I'll call this my bronze. Okay, my bronze layer. Bronze should be the first, then comes silver, and then comes the gold. Great. Now, for my gold layer, I like to use a data warehouse instead of a lake house. They are two different things, and they serve two different purposes, though they have similarities. But one of the most important differences between the two is that if you don't know what type of data you are uploading, you don't know the consistency of the data, you don't know the consistency of the schema and all that, go straight with lakehouse, because with that you can do different things. But if you know, your transaction kind of data, you know exactly what the schemas are, you know everything about the data. It's not like you are doing anything special. It's just your data that is clean, ready for reporting. Then I'll suggest you use a data warehouse. We can talk more about that in another video as I have the opportunity. But let's just continue. So the next thing I'll do is to create my gold layer, which is going to be my data warehouse. How do I do that? I click on new item. These are all artifacts within Microsoft Fabric, and I want a warehouse. Now they have different icons. Okay, and I'll call this warehouse, and I'll use this as my medallion, and I'll call it gold. So this is my gold layer, and it's my data warehouse. Awesome. So having done that, we have been able to achieve creating our lake houses, and we have been able to achieve creating our data warehouse. So the next thing I want to do is to bring in data. I go back to this place. Now you can see your lake house has an icon that has a lake on it, and your data warehouse is just like that. It looks like your semantic model. It looks like your lake house, but it has this dot inside. So that differentiates them. And of course, if you over it, you see it says warehouse and all that. Then let me bug us with that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to bring in data, and I'm going to start with my bronze layer. Now, there are different ways of bringing in data into your lake house. I'll click on lake house. I want files to come into this place. Yes, The first now to do is to create two folders. I want to create one for my actual CSV files, and I want to create one for my package files. Okay. No. I'm just, yes, just what I'm going to do. I'll click on this and I'll say CSV, and I'll click on create. So that each time I want to load data, I put my CSV files here, and I can let my non-CSV file, my package files be directly inside the file folder. So I'll click on this because this is where I want to put in my data. I'll just click on upload files, and I want to overwrite an existing one if there is anything there. So click on this, yes, and I have these two data that I want to bring in. I'll come and bring in my sales data first, and I click on OK, open. And once I open, I click on load, and after a few seconds, my data is loaded. I like to use CSV because I have quick access to viewing what I have directly from here. You see, it's just straightforward. All right, and that's it. So we have been able to achieve bringing in data into our bronze layer lake house. The other thing I want us to also achieve is to clean this data, and the end goal is to create a report. We'll do a little cleaning, and then we'll continue from there. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make use of notebook to bring in another CSV file into this place, and I'm just going to load the other file. Now I come back to my workspace and I click on new item, and what I want to do now is to use a notebook to bring in another data. I mean, straightforward. What I want to do, okay, skip it off for now. I'm just going to quickly give it a name, notebook, and I'll call it products, notebook data. Just give it a name, it doesn't really matter. So what I want to do is to first, Microsoft Fabric has all those, most of your libraries installed already. Okay. But if you need any library, you will know, for instance, if you're going to bring in an Excel file, for instance, you might need a library. But today I'm focused on CSV files, and I'm going to be using PySpark for what I'm doing now. So the next thing I have to do is to bring in my other data and push it into my CSV folder. Now I want to declare variables, and say declare variables. So the first thing I want to do is to click on and create bronze CSV parts, which is equals to, okay, so how do I get that? I'll come here, and I want to, two ways you can do it from here. One of the best ways to first link your lake house into your notebook, and so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to link by clicking on add lake house, and my lake house with existing lake house, right? And clicking on this, where is it? Medallion architecture training, and I want to bring my bronze, and I also want to bring this because later on I'm going to use it. Let's start with bronze because that's what we want to use now. I bring it in, and you can see it's pinned already. What that means is that is my default lake house. So what I want to do, I want to bring in data here. Of course, I can do upload like I did earlier, But what I want to do, I need this part, and I'm just going to use copy relative parts like that. And I'll say, paste it here. This guy, that's the parts, and I'll give the file a name. My file is products dot CSV. All right. And then the next thing I want to do is to load the data. I've written down some scripts that I can use to make this faster and easier. I'm just gonna click that. Just gonna copy it, Ctrl C, and I'm gonna do this. So what I'm trying to do here is that I'm trying to load data to a data frame, and I want to display two rows. So my data frame equals to spark.read format CSV option, that's header, and I'm loading it into this place, right? And next now to do is like I'm gonna click say display what data frame does. I want to limit what I want to let's say 5 rows of data, and that'll be it. And I'm just gonna run these. Okay, let's run this and see. I hope we are good right now. So it's starting a session for me, and once the session is started, it started in 5 seconds, and then it's running the query. Okay, bronze parts, files, CSV, product CSV. What is saying as inspection? Now this happens, so it's part of the things we need to fix. Says option either through load CSV path. Okay, so what's the issue right here? Yes, this is correct. And load. So what's our issue here? The frame rate format is saying, what's the error here? I'm trying to see analysis exception 7896. Oh, seeing the part is not found. Okay. Let's go. Yes. Okay. You know what I'll do? I'll use my ABS parts and I'll do this. Okay. I guess this should work for me now. Let's try. Still not available. Okay. So what is going on? I'm trying to see for the okay. Sorry about this. So what I was trying to do was to access this, but no, that's not going to work because the data still lives in my local system. I don't want to use a data gateway right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm still going to upload manually and then use this notebook to create a packet file that I will use, converting all this into packet file. That's what I'm going to do. So let me just come here and just quickly upload the file, and I'll come back here and I'll do products, and I'll click open, overwrite for me, and I upload. Okay. All right. because I don't want to, I mean, I'm not willing to go through the process of using gateway, data gateway, and all that. Yes. So I have my product here. Now that I have my product here, if I'm just gonna read this because I was trying to read actually, not trying to create. So this should work right now. I'm just gonna run it and it's gonna give me what I want. Okay, finally we got our data showing. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to clear this output. I want to create a packet file because the next thing I want to do is to have been able to bring in data, right? I can access it from my notebook. I want to create a packet file that I can use, to create my delta table. Of course, I can use this directly, but I like to use packet file because packet files are easy to to read, to access. I mean, Microsoft really supports or recommends you use packet files. It's one of the best data formats that you can use for doing large data management and all that. So the next thing I'll do, I want to quickly create packet files for my products, and then the next thing I'll now do is to land it in my silver layer. So in my bronze layer, I have them as files, raw data. In my silver layer, I want to do one or two cleaning on it, and then I'll dump them in my silver layer. But what do I want to do? First, I need to write a query that will push these products into my silver layer. And how do I go about that? So the next thing I'll do is to first link my other lake house, which is my I can see out another lake house, existing lake house with schema. Yeah, with schema and lake house medallion silver. That's the one I want. I'm just gonna add it. Okay, don't forget I said that my default is bronze, but I want to land it into my silver. So what do? I need to create two parts where I want the data the data to be. So first I'm going to create a packet file from this my CSV files and keep it in this folder, and then create my delta table in my silver layer. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I have some things written already. I'm just going to copy and paste this quick. Create packet file from my CSV file. So yeah, it's always good to partition, but right now I'm not going to partition. To partition, just going to do dot partitions. I'm not going to partition right now. So I need a bronze packet file. I'll call it this. First, I need to create the variable where this will be. Packet file equals something. Where is it going to be? Is it going to be insert files? And I'll call it slash products dot okay. Okay, that's what I want it to be. So it's going to be inside this file. And what I'm saying is use this data frame, overwrite whatever is there, the product. If it is existing, overwrite it. If it's not existing, create it. And I want it to be this. It's going to be inside here. Then I'm going to read from that packet file. Let Let me copy some things I've written down already. You're gonna push it here. So I'm saying now that from this, create a bronze data frame for me. What I want to use this for is to read the content of this place, read the content of the packet file that I created at the top here. And I want to display just 3 records out of it, just to be sure that it's working the way I want it to work. And I'm just gonna, before I run this, if I click on files, I'm sorry, I'm on silver. Let me go back to my bronze. You can see my I have product and my sales. This product came in by dropping it, but right now I want to create CSV files that will be in here for me. So packet file that will be in here. So I'm just going to run this one, bronze packet, and I'm going to write to it. So it's running right now. All right, now I have this as packet file inside this place. If I move the limits, it will just show me everything that is there. It's overwriting, so it's not a problem. Yes, that's everything in that table. It's just 7 products. We are not much concerned about it. If I click on here again, just refresh. If I just refresh this, I should have my packet files there. Can you see? Is here already successful, and that's it, packet file. Nice. So what have we achieved? We have been able to create our lake houses, and this is my where's my okay, this one. Now we have been able to import data from from notebook using the lake house parts in the folder. Yes, this is also done. Now we need to create a delta table in the silver layer using the notebook, right? I want to use the notebook to create this. We'll come back to number 4 shortly, but let's quickly do this. Create data table in the silver layer. And how do we do that? What we want to do is to use this packet file. We have it here already. It's loaded inside this place. And what I want to do is to land this data in my silver layer, right? So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna create a new code down here, and I have my codes, some of the codes written here already. I'm just gonna copy, as I've said earlier, pasting it. Now the silver data frame, this is the silver data frame, right? And what I want to do is to copy the content of this bronze data frame, which is this one at the top here, inside there, and create a delta table. Delta, here we said create packet file, this one, but now we want a delta table, so we need this part. And the best way to get this part is to use a equals. I'm still going to use this name, products. I'm still going to use products. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it here. Now there's something I want you to note here. Because we are referencing the silver lake house, at this point we need to come here to silver. It's a table. What I need is the ABFS parts. That's what I need. Or I can use my relative parts for Spark. Let's see. Let's try this, copy this, and I put it here. Okay, 6 files. This won't work for me because the other one also have file. So what I need to do is to do something like this. Let me come here, copy the FS part for this, and put it here. Yes, files, but I don't want it to come to files. I have that, and I'm just gonna change this one to table instead of file table because I want it to be a table, right? And I want the name to be this. That's what I want to do. So instead of using a um, a file here, I'm just using a table. So I'm just gonna run this and let's see the outcome. Okay, we have an error here. What's the error? Um, what did it say? Silver delta parts. Table products. What did it say? Silver. What exactly is our problem here? Hmm. Um, Silver. Fabric. This. Okay, so what is here? Yes. Tables. Yes. Uh, APFS column. Uh, yes. This is this. This is this. This is this. Okay. Let me see what exactly is my problem here. Silver data part. So okay. Silver did right to mode. Yes, this is supposed to be correct. So what exactly I will say here? I will run this again. Clear this error. So this one is here. I'm saving to this place. I am writing from here, and I am using delta. Sorry, I'm using my delta table. Okay, still giving me error. So what's the error? Is that correct? I have to pass this. Uh, why is it bad request? Yeah, that's part of the in a training. You just need to look at where the problem is. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll go to my silver and I'll come here and do this. Is this my silver, right? Um, what's going to the square point? Yes. Go to my properties. My properties, and I want to copy this guy here. Okay, I have this here, and I come back to my here. I put yes. Oh, I see the problem. I put table instead of tables. Yeah, I guess yes. That's what my problem is. I put tables instead of tables. If I run it now, I should be good. See, I said it. All right, so that was the error there. Okay, so that's been said. Right now, if I go to my silver layer and I refresh it, I should have my tables products. Products. Okay, products. And if I switch my to analytical endpoints, should have schemas, tables, um, schema, and I have my product here. Okay. Now I have this my silver layer. Um, we have it here already. So this is also like your SQL server, or your where you can query records. I can just say select, write a select statement here, or select count asterisk from from what's the name of that products. If I run it, it gives me the value as well. See, so that ends that part of our job. We're able to create data table from um, our notebook layer, from data table in the cell layer, from notebook. So this part is also done. So the next thing I want to do is to use data pipeline one. Let me move this to the side. Yes, so that it follows each other. Use data pipeline, and then use copy activity to move data from lakehouse to data warehouse. Now, two things, data pipeline. So let's quickly go into that. I'll come back here and I'll click on create new item. I need the data pipeline, which is this one. I'll call this pipe move data, and I'm just going to create my pipeline. Now, what I want to do, I'll just also show how to use your data pipeline to move your data. There are situations whereby you have your files being updated on a daily basis, weekly basis, and all that. What pipeline helps you to do is to schedule that flow. Now, what I'm going to do here is going to put in my notebooks, and also I'm going to add a data flow gen 2 in my pipeline. So when one is finished, it runs this, and then everything is loaded in that table. Don't forget, we are just overwriting, so it won't be an issue. So I'll come back here. I know I created a pipeline. Oh, it's still creating. While this is loading, I'll do something quickly. I'll come here. I'll create a new item, a data flow gen 2. Now you can also search, if you don't have favorites already, you just search for data flow gen 2. Now, the whole essence of creating a data flow gen 2 is to give an experience of Power BI desktop Power Query. With that, you're able to clean your data, adjust, do one or two things, within your data. Like I said, the focus is not about cleaning of data, but I just want to show one or two things so that you can get, familiar and comfortable with Fabric, using, designing your report using Fabric. So I'll call this data flow, data flow underscore ingest data. Okay, and I want to enable Git for this one as well. So I'm just going to quickly create it. Don't forget, we were trying to create our pipeline, and that was loading at the other time. And I guess, okay, yeah, I had to close this before that. But before I go to the pipeline, let me just show you how to bring in data. So there are different ways to bring in data. We have a CSV file already in our browse layer, that we have uploaded manually. The other thing we want to do is to now use that file, that CSV file, in our data flow gen 2, and do some one or two editing just to explain what it looks like. So I'm just going to go to get data from other sources. These are one source, but this I'm just going to click other sources, and I'm looking for my lakehouse bronze and Medallion architecture training. And this is the one I'm coming to. And once I click on it, yes, and that's the connection. And this is what I want to do. Once I click on that, it brings me all the files that are available there. I click on it, and what I want is the sales data, this one here. So I'm just going to click on create, and once I do that, the data comes in into my data flow gen 2. I mean, if you have used Power BI Desktop, you see that this is an experience that you have in Power BI Desktop. Cool, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to do one or two things, and then I'll continue with this. So the first thing I want to do, having gotten this, I want to just show one or two ways to deal with the data. So I don't want to see, I want to promote the headers. I want to promote the headers. There are use first rows as headers. You can either do it from here or come to transform and say use first row as headers. So I'm just going to click that. And once I clicked on it, it promotes the first row to become headers. I mean, just the same way you work with your Power BI desktop. So in Power Query, right? Query editor, sorry. So the next thing I want to do, I just gonna my order dates. I want to get add columns. I want to get what do I want to get from here? I want to pick date and time. I don't want other date and time as one. I want to pick just the date only, but it's give me other dates. And I want to also pick, what else do I need? What else do I need? Another thing? I think that's all I want from this side. So just to show you that you can actually do you can transform your data from here. You can decide to delete what you don't want from here. I don't want address line 2, so you can just as well remove this column. Yeah, I'm clicking on it and I'm saying remove column. So that column is gone, and of course you have your yes, and you have your steps here, and you want to go back, you can always click on this. Delete any step that you don't want, you want to get back, and it will come back to it. So that's all. And there are many things you can do with it. So I'll leave that. So the idea is to push this content in as a delta table in my silver layer, right? So I'm just going to click here for destination. Let me quickly add a destination because it's saying no destination right now. I want it to go into my lake house, and where I want it to land is in my silver layer. I have a connection to my silver layer. Don't forget, I'm moving from bronze to silver and then to gold. Gold will be our data warehouse, and that part we're going to use the pipeline to move data from our silver layer to our gold layer. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to click next here and quickly, and I want to call it sales. That's all, sales. That's what I want to call it. In that my lake house. Okay, sorry. Lake house. Yes, it's gonna be my lake house. Now Medallion architecture, Medallion training. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's gonna be in this silver layer. That's where I want it to be. I want it to be in my silver layer. Okay, I have this already there, but it's just gonna the specified table already exists in the lake house. Okay, I want to go and delete this. I'm not sure I'll be able to go there right now, which will ask me to close this. Okay, so let me cancel, save my project, my work, come home. I'm just going to save it. I'm not going to run anything. I'll save it. I want to delete that table that was existing in my lake house. And then so that I can show how this works. So I'm just going to delete this. Delete quickly for me. Thank you. It's been deleted. And then I can go back to my data flow, ingest data. I click on it here because what I want to do is to, um, if I have any update on this, I want it to come here, do the clean I have done, and then uh, ingest data in my silver layer of the lake house. So I want, yes, silver. I click on next. I look for my workspace, Medallion training workspace, and I click on this, and I click on the silver. That's where I wanted to get into, and I want it as sales, right? Yes, new. It says a new table we created, and I click on next, and voila, I have all the the tables here. The table type, the source and the destination type. They are all here. That's what you see. Just click on save settings, and that'll be it. So having done this, the next thing I need to do is to save and run it. I'm gonna run it. Yes. So let me go back there because I think I need to publish it. If I don't publish it, I won't have it available in. Cancel this. Yes, that's my destination. Transform view. I guess I run it already. So let me go to my pipeline, data pipeline. I hope that I'll see uh, my data flow here. So the first now to do is to bring in my notes because I want this notebook also to run each time I run it, and then I want my data flow to run, and then I will now move all the data from those tables into my um, gold layer. So where's my pipeline? I come here, I want to bring in activities. Here you can bring in different activities. If you don't know, if you cannot see your activity here, you just need to come here and click on search. Let me see, I want a notebook. Exactly. I bring in my notebook. So here, my notebook, run notebook. Just giving it a name, really. That's just it. And where's my notebook? This is my notebook. Is anything? I don't have anything here. So I just going to save this. So that's what I want to run this notebook. And once this notebook is finished running, the next thing I want to do is to run my the data from my silver from the delta table. I want to push the tables in the delta table, the delta tables. I want to push them into the good layer. So I'm just going to use a copy activity here, and I'll call it copy delta tables to copy data tables to where? To gold layer. That's what I want to do, really. And so what am I doing? I want to copy lake house med bronze. Yes. And I'm looking for what? No, sorry, I don't want to copy. Before I copy, let my copy be here. Just stay here for a while. I want data flow. I want to run that my data flow. So what I want to call this is data flow run ingest data. Okay, ingest data. So I come to my setting. What do I want it to do? I just want it to run that data flow. Okay, Medallion training is saying this. And I know the reason why this is saying that is because I have not published my data flow. That's why it's saying this. So I need to save this. Okay, to say I need to just deactivate it. I need to save this and go back to my data flow. I need to publish it before before I can do anything, come here. You should give me publish option at the base here. So why are you not showing? And I'll come to here and say create a new item. I want data flow gen 2. Now it gives me an option. This option says enable Git integration, development pipelines, and public API scenario preview. Now I realized that the one I created earlier had this. I mean, this is something Microsoft is just adding to it, and they call it preview, right? I realized that because I use this, that is why my data flow wasn't showing my pipeline. I'm just gonna create another data flow gen 2. It says this existed, and I'll say new, right? I will not use this Git integration. I will just create, and we'll be able to see the difference between the two. Now I'm going to connect it to the data source. I want to use Lakehouse. Okay, Lakehouse, and the one I want to use is this one because my data is coming from the bronze and I'm pushing it to the silver. So I'm picking this guy here. I have a connection for it already, so I expect it to just give me that connection. Files, and what I want to pick now is a sales. This one. I create it. And once I click create, see, can you see publish is showing here? Let me duplicate this page so that you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. I duplicate tab, and I'm going to split. How can I split this? How does this split works? Okay, I want to split it now. Let me go back to the other one. Let me close this. I'm closing this. Yes, exit. Exit. This is the one that I had before with Git option. If I click on it, I want you to focus on the base here. You can see it has nothing. It does not have the publish that this has. So that's the difference right now. This one is with the preview mode of Git, while this is without Git. So if you want to see your data flow, I mean, as at right now that I'm doing this recording, if you want to see your publish icon here, I mean button here, then don't enable the Git preview. Okay, yeah, that's settles that. So I'm just going to go out of this one because I don't actually need it. So let's quickly talk also again about, okay, yeah, we talked about this earlier. I'm just going to promote the headers, and I'll be fast about that. Promote headers. I don't want to see everything. I mean, I don't need everything. I don't want this to be together. So I'm just going to split it. Give me this only. Okay. Which does that. I guess there's just too many things here. I don't want this one. Remove column. What else? All these things, I don't want them. Just remove this quarter. Remove column. Order date is there. Right, I guess that's okay about that. Now, what I want to do, I need to connect it to the destination, which is the delta table in my silver layer. So I'm just going to connect it to that lake house. Okay, edit connection. No, the next. Right, it's okay. Yeah, now we are fine. I want sales, and now Medallion architecture training one. I wanted to destination is silver. There's not so much there. It's just a table there. Just silver. Silver. Yes, sales. Click next. Everything is intact the in terms of the data types. Everything is intact. So I'm just going to click on save setting, and then I can go to, yeah, so my lakehouse is here. I can see the silver, going to silver architecture. And the next thing is for me to just publish it. So I'm just going to publish it now. Okay. Once it is published and it runs successful, it's publishing right now. No Git, it's unsupported. The one with Git is not working. So use the one without Git. That's what you should use. So right now it's trying to, publish this to my silver layer of the lakehouse. And it's going to take some time. So yeah, I guess it's done. So let's go back to our pipeline.